Guys, today I'm going to attempt to install a battery into the Suzuki TS250 that doesn't belong there. But the problem is the only batteries that you can get that will fit in the battery box are the original lead acid batteries. They last tops a year, and then you're buying another one. Personally, I like the Motobat batteries. They seem to work for me the best. I've got some of them that are 5 and 6 years old, still going strong, even on the 6-volt ones. There are some other batteries out there, the Duracell, that is the AGM battery, that works pretty good, but I haven't been using them as long, so I don't know. But what I'm going to do is, let me show you here. These two batteries are the only ones that Motobat makes in a 6-volt. And this one, you could probably get it in there, but it's going to be really tight. This one is also tight, but I don't have to cut brackets off the frame for it. And that I would this one. So that one's out. Now this is the Duracell, and this is what fits in the 6-volt Yamaha Enduros. And I've got one of these in use on a 360 Yamaha, and it works. So far it's worked real good. I think it's maybe 3 years old. And I could make this one fit. Actually, I could make that one fit here. I just have to increase the height of it just a little bit. That would be the easiest thing. But I'm not all about easy. I think I'm going to try to do this one. And let me go over to the bike and I'll show you kind of what we're up against. I'll take this one over with me and this other one here. Okay, this one would have to fit. I'm sorry, I'm going to have to set this down here just a minute until I can get it situated here. This one is a tight fit in there, and chances are I would have to move one of these brackets, this one probably. And I'm just not into that. Not after all the work I've done on the frame. This one, although it's tight, it will fit just like that. And with the wires coming off the side instead of the top, even like the smaller Duracell one, it makes it easier to hook up things and not have to worry about wires touching the frame or something. So that, I think, is what I'm going to do. And actually, you look at this and you see that it's sticking out kind of far. Actually, it's just sticking out about to the edge of the frame right here. Now let me go get the bracket of the original one and I'll show you what it looks like. Okay, so you can see with this pulled up, and it's actually it's pulled up further right now than it would be if I had the rubber cushions in here. So you look at it here and it's setting out way past the edge of the frame, and of course there's a door that goes on there too. So I think I can make it even stick out less with the new battery and still get everything in there. Plus I've got a better battery. So let's see if we can get this done. Okay, all I'm going to do here is I'm going to try to make this in 2 pieces. Actually, it'd be more than that, but 2 main pieces. I'm going to try to get the bottom and one side out of one piece, and then the top and the other side, I think. I may have to change my mind, but it's a matter of marking and seeing what we got. I need it just a little bit bigger, but not much. So what I'm going to try to do, I'm going to go ahead and cut this all the way across, and then I'm going to try to bend this piece here up to create my first side. Okay, I'm over at the sheet metal break, and I'm going to make my first cut here. Okay, that's that one. And then I'm going to try to make the bend. Make sure I'm right here. I've got to do it all over again. Okay. And I purposely made this just a little long here so that I could trim it, but I didn't want to have to re-bend this, so this way at least I've got it out. I can trim this off easier than I can do another bend. Okay, so this makes it easy. I can trim this a little bit with some shears and just grind it to whatever I need. But it gives me a little length here on the back, and a little bit here too that I can trim. So not too bad a start. Okay, let me do some more thinking and looking, and I'll let you know what I'm going to do here. Okay, I've done a little marking here. I think what I'm going to do is, I believe I can get the top out of this too, and it's just going to be a strap from, let's see here if you can see it, from this mark to this mark. It's just going to come up like this. These ends will go out of the way. That one will come over the top, and that leaves me room here. I really don't need it because these are coming out the side, but I just think it'll be a little cleaner looking job if I do it. So, and you may be asking, why didn't I take a bigger piece and make 3 sides, the bottom and both sides? That would be optimum if you could do it. I'm limited with my my shear and everything, my brake, that I don't believe that I could, if I bent this other side, I probably couldn't get it out of the machine. So that's why I'm electing to do it like this, and then I'll just weld the 2 together. In this case, yeah, just 2, because this piece will come over the top, this piece will come up, it'll weld to it, and weld here. We have the hot lead out, so that's kind of where we're looking at right now. That is just barely long enough to do it. Okay. We do some more cutting, and I may have to go find another piece of metal. Changed my mind here just a little bit. I had just a strap here in the middle, and I'm going to need a place to mount the lid, so I had to go back and put a bigger piece on. I've got to make a cover, but I've got to have a deal like this. I guess I really didn't need it up there, but still things open for change here. But I'm going to build a different lid, cover, whatever you want to call it, to go on that one. Okay, I went back to the drawing board here. That's just something we do, you know, when you try to custom make something. And it may happen again, you never know. But this one, I didn't think the top through enough, so I'm basically just going to build a box here for this one, and probably put some lightning holes in the side. But I went back and I built it in 2 pieces so that I'll be able to weld it this way. And what had happened with this one, not just the top, but it was a little tight. It's kind of really tight from that way, and it would go in this way pretty easily. So what I'm going to do is I made it just a little bit bigger so that if I get some shrinkage here or warpage, that it's not going to matter. And I really wanted enough headspace, you know, up here between the box and the battery, so that I could put a rubber insert in the bottom to set the battery on. Doesn't need one on top, but it needs some kind of insulation at the bottom. So that's where I'm at, and I'm going to go ahead and tack this one together, and we'll see how that fits after I get done. It's looking pretty good. Yeah, I think that's going to work out. All right, let's get the bracket that we just made welded on. I'm going to use a spot welder for this. It's kind of how the original ones were done. There we go. I think I'll put a couple more on there. Yeah, there we go. Get our bend in here again. Looks like I went a little too far, but there we'll make it work. There's our other bracket. Okay, now I'm making the cover, this piece right here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to roll these beads in, bead rolls, just like they did in here to give this some rigidity. And then we'll cut it down after I get that in. That's pretty good for that one. Yeah. Okay. Let's get the other one. Have to put it in a little different. This one's a little longer. Yeah, I think that'll do it. I'm not going to roll this. I think this was for the battery drain. That'll give it some rigidity so it doesn't, you know, just so it's not just a piece of steel or a tin. All right. Okay, the hold down bracket for the door or lid, whatever you want to call it. This bracket is going to be welded to here, and I need a nut welded to the back of it so that you can put the screw in over here. So that's what we're up to right now. So let's get this nut welded on. You get a little burn through here, so I'm going to fix that. Get it a little hot. Okay, we've got one more tab to put on. This is the tab that holds the little door on. Get one more in there. Okay, there's that bracket. That one takes the door, and it'll bolt right up to that, and that's why we had to put a nut on the back of it. Alright, we get set up over by the motorcycle, and let's see if it's going to fit. Okay, we're back over at the bike. I want to point out that I had to, let's see if I can get this up to you here. Oops. I'm going upside down there. Alright, see right here, I had to grind off a little bit of that tab and this tab in order to get this to work. But it's going to do it. And I had to do some test fitting to make sure that my switch here would clear, and the pipe, you can see the cutout for the pipe right here. That was already done. That's it's already opened up like that. So, and you really didn't need it for the original one, but it come in handy for this. All right. Now this one side I was able to use a standard Suzuki cushion right here with a spacer in it. This side, not able to do that, so I'll use a rubber grommet I made out of a faucet washer. They're good, hard rubber, and when I put it on there for good, I'll just use some grade blue Loctite. Okay, you can see here that we've made a bracket for the backside so the battery can't slip out. This is on the original one too, and I don't recall what that's for, whether it's for the resistor. I'm not real sure, but here's the original one. So I just went ahead and put it back on there. So you can see we're quite a bit bigger. There's our lid, how it hooks up. Same way. Just like this. Alright, let's see if we can get it in there. Got this side over here in yet. Thought I had it going. Keeps wanting to fall down. Stay. It's looking like I might need to open up my bracket just a little bit here. Yeah, I think so. Let me give it a little more clearance. Okay, that's we've got that bolted in. I had to relieve this a little bit right here. It is tight, but it's going to work. And I've got the lid on it here. I'm just going to work on this top of the let me show you here before I take all this apart. This switch is going to go right here, and there's still room to get our wires on it. And the pipe is, of course, where it's mounted where it should be. So I think, unless there's something else that I'm not seeing, that we're going to be okay here. I'm sure I'll run into something and then we'll have to deal with it. But as of right now, it looks like it's probably going to be okay. Just works the same way as the original one did. Hooks in the top, only bigger. Okay, and I've cut a little piece of rubber there. That's what I wanted to be able to do, was to put some rubber in the bottom, and that fits there good. And I'm actually going to run this the other way. I'm going to run it with the positive coming out the back. And I have this way a little bit of relief here for this to come through, so it doesn't get bound up behind the lid here. So that comes right out over here. So you can see all that then. And this, like I said, I was able to use a standard Suzuki cushion and spacer back here, and over here I'm using just a Phillips screw with a washer, a rubber washer in the back. And what I'll do is I'll just Loctite that when I put it together for the final time. But it, at this point, appears like things are going to work. I've got a little relief that I need to do in the back, just so I can, it's clearing now, but it will be very tight to put the clamp on the air cleaner boot. So I'm going to cut a little bit out of the top of the box just to give me a little extra clearance there. So let me do that and kind of tidy up everything and try to get some paint on it, and then I'll bring you back. Okay, got it painted up, got all the tweaking done that I think I need to do. I'm sure there'll be something, but for right now we're going with it. I went ahead and glued a piece of rubber in the bottom here, and just slides right in. I also glued a half of a grommet here for the wire to go through. It's not like it's a big issue because it's a ground, but still, we don't want it getting chafed. And then our new cover. Designed a lot like the original one, just larger to fit this box. This was the original, and this is the new one. It's a little rough on the edges, but it's about as good as you can do with hand tools. I'm sure this one was stamped out in one piece. So anyhow, there you go. Uh, I've got to replate the nuts that hold this, but it looks like that this stoplight switch is going to be okay. Be a little close here, but I think we can get it in. Now these batteries, like I say, I've had real good luck with these Moto bats. I've got some that are going on 5 or 6 years and still going strong. The regular lead acid batteries that you get for motorcycles just don't last. Usually up here in the north where I'm at, maybe I can get a year, but that's about it. Okay, I want to show you the clearance on the exhaust. You can see here, well, I don't know, maybe this is better. They had a cutout already in there. Of course, with the other box, you don't need it, but there's plenty of room there. I don't think there'll be issues with that. And let's see, let me get you off the bipod here and I'll show you the back side of this. Okay, here we go. See, here's where I cut this out right here, just so it'd give me a little more clearance for putting this clamp on. The battery, of course, will stick out, but it's okay. It gives me enough clearance for that. It clears the air cleaner fine. And like I say, I imagine I'll find some other clearance issues, but as of right now, everything looks like it's gonna work. Now these batteries, this part number, if you're interested, is a MBT 6N6, and this is a 5 amp battery, I believe. These were real hard to get for a while. I don't know what the issue was. I think a lot of people were just buying them, but I just picked this one up about a week and a half ago, so I think they're in stock again. There's really absolutely no reason, legitimate reason, to do what I just did here. My issue is that the lead acid batteries don't last, and these do seem to. I'll probably have a bad one now. I don't know, but these seem to last longer, and you don't have to worry about the acid leaking all over the place. So I wanted to try to do it. It would be easier if you want to do it to use the little Duracell battery for the Yamaha Enduros. That way, all you would have to do is just cut out the top and extend it up just a little bit, which wouldn't be a big issue at all. But this is what I wanted to do. It's what I did on the TC125 and a couple other bikes that I've done in the last few years. It's a better battery, lasts longer, and for the most part, I don't see a problem doing it. It's a better capacity battery too. So those are my main reasons for doing it. But really, is it worth all the trouble? Probably not. Anyhow, thanks for going along on the ride. See you next video.